Reading like a detective is something that I enjoy to do because it helps me really look closely at a piece of text that I'm reading and examine it for clues. For example, when I read Clementine, I lifted out some lines in particular, like this one. Someone should tell you not to answer the phone in the principal's office, if that's a rule. That really tells me that this character doesn't seem to know that it's not okay to answer someone else's phone. Here's another example on page 4 of Clementine, which is why I could tell everyone right in the middle of the Pledge of Allegiance that the lunch lady was sitting in the janitor's car and they were kissing. Now I have to wonder, why in the world was Clementine paying attention to what was going on outside of the classroom and not being attentive to the pledge? There's another example of a line that I lifted when I read like a detective. Lying on the sink next to a pair of do not remove from the art room scissors was a chunk of straight brown hair. The fact that do not remove from the art room scissors were somewhere they probably shouldn't have been tells me that someone didn't follow the rules. It also tells me that I think someone cut their hair with those scissors. And then a final example of lifting a line and reading like a detective is here. And then Margaret went all historical, and the art teacher went all historical, and nobody could think of anything to do except the regular thing, which is send me to the principal's office. And from this I can infer Clementine goes to the principal's office a lot because she calls it the regular thing. In your notebook, I'd like you to add these pieces. They're lines that I've lifted from some mystery texts as I was reading like a detective. This will give you a chance to practice writing like a reporter as you examine the clues. Now, reading like a detective is a strategy that I can use when I'm working with text and recording my thinking in a reader's notebook. I've been reading Fish in a Tree, and I'm coming along lines that just really strike me as interesting or they make me think. For example, this particular one, words, I can never get away from them. Now what I'm doing, because I'm not writing in the text, is I put the page number that I find this particular quote from. That way if I need to look back in it again later I can, and then I write the quote on a post-it note. Now what I'm doing in my notebook is I am then parking those post-it notes in my notebook. You can hear I have a couple pages worth. And then later, after I've had a chance to put the text away, I'll come back to this, and then I'm writing my thinking about these notes. And so I'm using the strategy of reading like a reporter and writing like a detective in my reader's notebook.